That makes a really important sound, which makes it so much easier to edit. Okay. So, would you like to get us started?
Yeah, for sure. Hi everybody, welcome. My name's Harry Neff, and we're coming together tonight as a tribe of humans who are just opening our heart to looking at what that experience is like, and getting to drop in together to tenderness. So I had a very human experience today where I had a big thing of chocolate blueberries that had melted into a big ball. And I got it out of the bag, and I really wanted a little bit of this chocolate. I was out working on my land, and I really needed some chocolate. And I went to bite it, and I knocked out one of my temporary teeth. So my mouth is a little funny, but hopefully the glue that I got at Walgreens will hold. But being human.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. We want to just really focus on just being present in our bodies and listening with our whole being. And so we won't have a lot of time during the time that we're going through the different pieces to chat and have side talk, but really be present to what's going on. And we are recording this, so it will help with that as well. The bathroom is right back here on the left, so if anybody needs the bathroom, and if you do need the bathroom, you might want to do that sooner than later. And we're going to take a moment to meditate. So I'm ringing the bell, and I want to invite you to focus on your breath and a sensation in your body. All right, let's welcome back.
It is so good to see each and every one of you. This crowd was curated. Everybody was here because I've interacted with you on some level, and I've wanted to get to know you more. And I'm really pleased that we're all here. So I wanted to just kind of give some orientation to what this is. One of the consequences of getting into music in my 40s is that my 11-year-old now is trying to play music as well. And she wants to play a Billie Eilish song that is in the movie Barbie. So we were watching Barbie last night. I have to say, out of all the movies that my patients watch, the Barbie film came up the most when it was released. Truly, people were like really impacted by it. I don't know if you've seen it, but basically she's deciding, does she want to live in this fake plastic world or to become human? And this whole evening is about being human. The tenderness, the terror, the beauty, the pain. And quite apropos of this theme, yesterday, my mentor, Kent Hoffman, which I have two mentors here, Kwanyan Lynn Williams and Kent Hoffman, and they're mentors to many people in this room. And my parents are here. Where's Dad? Oh, there's Dad. Wonderful people. But Kent texted me yesterday a Carl Jung quote. Loneliness is not the absence of people around us, but the inability to express what truly matters within us. And at a time where there's an epidemic of loneliness and people don't know how to connect, I think art can do a really good job. Tonight we're going to be celebrating what it means to be human, what has meaning, and how we're all connected. I think we've already experienced, having stepped into this room, ways that we're all connected that we didn't even know before we came here. This vision actually started when I was 22. I had just finished college, and I I grew up in Spokane. I went to mountain school when I was 16. I had a climbing partner for about 10 years, Eric, and we went to college together. And the summer after I graduated, his plane went down. He was a pilot. And they never found anything. At the time, I was living in Sandpoint, trying to see if I could make it as a ski bum. And I started playing piano. I was working at a therapeutic residential center, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I would play the piano, and the kids would just come over. And then I started playing with an open mic group at a bar every Wednesday night. And at the end of the year, we hosted a show at the Canada. It's that historic theater on First Street. And I played the song that I'd written to kind of process the grief of losing Eric. And everybody does their thing. And at the end of the show, we're all like, oh yeah, it was great. And this guy walks up to us and he hands us a check. And there's 12 of us. And it's a check for $12. And we're like, cool, thanks. Except we look at it a little bit closer, and it was a check for $12,000. It was Dennis Pence, the owner of Coldwater Creek. And to just feel that endorsement of music and art resonating with somebody to the point that they would support us really was a magical feeling. Fast forward about 10 years. Well, actually, no, I don't want to fast forward because I then went on to medical school, and when I was in officer training in the military, I meet Sean. Sean had just lost his wife to cancer at age 28. And grief and music is kind of how we connected. And then fast forward 10 years, we would go to this artist retreat, and we were living in San Antonio. We meet this woman, Jessie Grizz. She lives in Connecticut, has the voice of Adele, and we were like, can we fly you down for a week? You can write music, and we're gonna throw a house concert. And so she comes down, plays music all week. We throw this amazing house concert. We had like spiral stairs, and it was packed. And that was probably, up until maybe tonight, one of the coolest things we've done as a couple. And fast forward then to 2022, we're living in Minot, North Dakota. It's COVID. We've lost Sean's mom to COVID. And we're trying to decide, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna do 2 or 3 more moves with the military? Or are we gonna vote with our values on what matters and get out of the military? For those of you who know what a retirement is, we had to give up a retirement. Sean was 4 years away.
3.5.
Or 3.5, yeah. No one was counting. And we decided life is short, and we wanted to move back to Spokane. And 2 of the main reasons, including family and the beautiful outdoors, were community and creativity. And I started having these thoughts of, what if we could do more house concerts and support artists? And what if those house concerts raise money for local nonprofits? I did not know that we would be the ones doing the first Flamelight Gathering a year later. But for the first time in my life, I started writing music that I actually really liked. And I thought, I'll get a singer to sing these songs. And then I realized, because enough people told me, you have to start singing the songs yourself. And through Christy, I met Kellerin, who's now my voice coach, and we're making it happen. And this is the first time we've gotten to perform as a band these original songs. Everything tonight is original. It's all on the theme of being human. And we're going to consolidate this recording and submit it for a grant through Saga to try to make this a sustainable way to inspire people to gather like this in Spokane and raise money for artists, raise money for nonprofits. So that said, I want to introduce our poet, for the evening. Christy Ortiz, I met 3 years ago, maybe. We had moved here, and I was looking for a place that had yurts that gathered. And there was a place called Harmony Woods that is a wonderful spiritual community that gathers in a yurt. And she is also a fellow therapist in the mental health field. Tonight we are raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And so I would love her to come share a poem on being human. Everybody welcome Christy.
Well, keep clapping for Beck and Sean. I think so incredible, the two of you and what you've done. And yeah, no surprise that this room is full of such amazing people, because that's the kind of people you are and that you draw. So thank you for your work. I've had a candle beside my in my office that from Beck that she made for me, and all my clients are like, wow, I love that candle. It smells so good. So yeah, thank you for being such a light in the world. So I have the privilege of being a part of a group in Spokane with a couple other people here in the room who do communal grief retreats. And through that, I've seen just like how music and art is something that connects us at such a soul level and is such a universal connecting experience, so is our grief. And so I've really come to appreciate how much the beauty and what we call the brutifulness of life can really transcend artificial boundaries of separation. So this is born out of the gift of being a part of those communal grief retreats. It's called Beloved Brokenness. Sometimes I wonder how we can get trapped in stories of unworthiness when our beings are shining so brightly with radiant wonder. Sometimes I wonder if we feel broken because a deeper part of us knows we belong to one another. We are not separate and alone. We are all one. We sense our wholeness is found amongst each other. Perhaps it's our feeling of brokenness that gives us the courage, the desperation to crawl on our knees in the dark back to each other where we belong. And we discover we are not broken. We are just part of one big tapestry. You or I are not enough to reveal the beauty of love's face. It's only all the colors of the rainbow that make up the light that illuminates all we see. And so, as waves of one great big sea, I see you. I hear your pain, your call, your plea that resonates in the chamber of my own broken heart, and I remember we are not separate. And my heart holds your medicine, and your heart holds my medicine. And it is only together that we mend the fabric of our torn world, weaving ourselves back together again with threads of tears and beauty, of compassion and delight, until the seamless whole begins to take shape, and we recognize it was our belovedness and belonging that beckoned to us through the heartstrands of brokenness to call us back home.
It was so beautiful. So we're gonna do our set. You guys might have heard that clock go off. That is a clock that belonged to my grandpa Sig and my grandma Edna, and we just repaired it and got it working about a couple months ago. And my friend Stephanie stopped by on a Friday afternoon. She had just had voice lessons with Kelleran. And she was asking me how I write songs. And I said, well, I catch them. I don't really write them. And I just kind of sit down and then I just hit a note. And sometimes it's a hot note, sometimes it's not. And I just hit a note. And she was right there. And then I hit another note. And then I said, I think I'm catching a song. And the clock went off. And it just kind of set the tone for what the song became. good. I don't know if you guys noticed the one line, rise up your song. That's really what the whole song was about. Life is gonna life, but rising up your song. This next song, it's just gonna be me here. Again, it kind of wrote itself. It's called Mythologic. And it's this idea that we all have wounds that make us terribly defended because we don't like to feel that pain. And what if we realize that there really wasn't anything terribly wrong with us? What that might look like. Okay. So just so everybody knows who's here, we've got Bogdan on the drums. So Bogdan lives across the field. His daughters play with our daughters, and we're friends with his wife as well. So it's great that he gets to bang the drums with us.
Who's watching our kids?
His wife is watching our kids. Thank you, Ashley. This is my husband, Sean, on the bass. He actually is a guitar player and a player of many things, but bass was not one of them. And he learned this whole set on the bass, which is fantastic. He's doing awesome. And then we got Duff.
Yeah.
Over street, and she's also a neighbor. Her dad, I know, is Fish and Chip from Camp Reed. A little shout out to Camp Reed there. And we're so glad to have her as well. So this next song, I think there was an article on Cascadia, that really awful tsunami that's supposed to hit every 500 years on the coast. And, you know, nothing inspires a good song like a tragedy. And so I thought that's what this song was about. And I actually called it The Tragic. And then I realized, because it has a mirror of the first and second half, that it was a song about those times in life that we might call life quakes, where you don't know how to feel, you don't know how to be, and your life might not ever be the same. But on the flip side of tragedy, it also might be complete wonder, complete awe, complete tenderness. And we might not know how to feel, we might not know how to be. And so I want you to think of it, the first half, as a tragedy, and the second half, almost like you're surfing, right? Like you're in the wave, but you're not being overtaken by it, and it's just filled with tenderness and love. 1, 2, ready, go. are doing awesome. All right, this next one Sean and I are going to do. And it's a love song. And it's about how life is hard. And it's still a love song. When we decided to move here, as I mentioned, it was a really quick decision. I was so grateful that Sean was willing to give up his military career so that we could have stability as a family. And we moved here, and Sean was grieving his 20 plus years in the military, that he was investing in a career where he was a shining star. He was really
You can say depressed. It's okay.
well, okay, he was depressed. Sean was very depressed. And I started thinking, oh no, we made a mistake. And this was such a good lesson that we are totally allergic to grief. And the etymology of decide is the same as suicide, pesticide, homicide. It means to kill off. And when you make a decision, you kill off something, so you're always going to be grieving just because you make a decision. And that grief doesn't mean that you made a mistake. And so that's kind of the premise of the song. 1, 2, ready, go.
Needed
searched that one up yesterday. I was real nervous. A lot of counting in my head. All right, this next one is a little edgier, but that same friend that was around when I caught Vesuvius, she said it was her favorite song because it showed her that anger can be quiet. And it has to do with the idea that we all are under a spell. Some of us know the spell we're under, some of us are clueless, but it controls our life and wreaks havoc. And trying to break free from that complex, from that spell. 1, 2, ready, go. I don't know how
crowd. I just see every face, and I think I'm so glad each and every one of you are here. We were out at Priest Lake, and I heard the melody for the song, and I did not know what it was going to be about, and I couldn't even sing it. I couldn't hit the notes. And then I got laryngitis, and then I could kind of hit one of the lower notes, and I kept working on it. And I realized it was a song about ache, and how we have an ache for something and we don't know what it is, and we try to fill it with all these things, and at the end of the day, it's about tenderness, that we ache for tenderness. My good friend that I went to college with was visiting me. I still didn't have a chorus, and I was playing the verses, and she was going through a divorce that was actually much needed, and she was trying to come up with a new idea of what home was for her. And just spontaneously, the chorus developed, and you'll see how it fits in. 1, 2, ready, go. guys. All right, this last one is a very existential but hopeful song that again just kind of came to me, trying to make sense about how we got here, what we're doing here, all the things. And the chorus, it's just kind of this weird guttural sound, and I realized about 3 weeks ago it sounds like a laugh, and I think that's part of the point, is to keep some levity in all of this. And there is a part of the song that says, dissolving the illusion that our beings are so separate, a resonance we all abide, a truth which nests down deep inside. Somehow if we all let go, we find a place we all have known, mysterious and wonder nigh, what inside us has to die. And this idea that we're all deeply connected in ways we have no idea. It's called Dissolve. 1, 2, ready, go.
right. How are you guys feeling? Yeah? Good. So this idea of just small ways to help organizations that are already doing good continue to do good. We don't have to reinvent the wheel, but to just learn about organizations that are already doing integral things here in Spokane. I'm going to introduce Dr. Pam Kohlmeyer in just a minute, but there's two little things that are cool little tidbits of stories on how people in this room are connected. Because I know a few of you are like, how are these people connected? Because it is a curated group. And I found out my friend Kirsten, her mentor was the same mentor as mine, Juan Yinlin Williams. And we were both like, what? We had the same mentor. And then not too long after that, I was meeting with my other mentor, Kent Hoffman. And not too long before, I had decided to watch a TEDx video from Spokane. I literally chose one video, and it was about Fight Club, which is this awesome organization effort that they do at Ferris to impact kids on the edge. And I learned about Sean Barrett, and he's a sound engineer from Nashville turned therapist. So of course, I email him, and he's the nicest guy. He emails me back, and I'm over at Kent's, and I was like, hey, do you happen to know a therapist? Because Kent's, well known in the mental health world, named Sean Barrett. And he's like, who do you think I work at Ferris with? And so that happened. And then this next kind of synchronicity, I'm at Manitou. This is a few years ago. It's, I think, summer. Kids are playing in the splash pad. And I make the mistake of making eye contact with somebody who's like canvassing. And I was like, oh, I can't get out of this. We have locked eyes. She's coming over. So let's just, here we go. Smile. It's a nice day. Well, I find out she's a physician, an ER physician, and so we start talking about medicine, and she shares some of her story with me. She lost her child, Katie, to suicide. And we were able to have a very real moment on a Saturday in Manitou. And I shared with some of my struggles with depression, but also as a psychiatrist, the patients that I take care of. It's a reality that they live with. And I think I said, grief makes none of us strangers, which is kind of a theme that Christy mentioned as well. And then life went on, and I never saw Pam again. But then I thought, I really want to reach out to her, because I'd written this piece of writing, and I thought, I want to share it with her because it mentions the idea that grief makes none of us strangers. And then literally the next day, because I was going to look her up, but the next day I'm speaking at Women in Medicine conference, and she's sitting right next to me. And she's looking at me like she knew. I mean, this gal sees thousands of people, and she's looking at me like, do you remember who I am? And I'm like, what was that, And then I go, oh my gosh, I literally was going to try to reach out to you. And we have been friends ever since. And I was trying to figure out who, as far as an organization, would be a good Spokane-based organization to donate to. And I was really tossing and turning. And then we were on a walk one day, and I was wanting to do NAMI, National Alliance for Mental Illness, but I didn't know anybody who worked there or was associated. And then Pam says, I'm on the board. And I was like, of course. And so, Pam, could you come talk to us about NAMI? And then I'm going to pass around, if people don't have a piece of paper that has the information on NAMI, make sure you have it before you leave.
Thanks, Beck. So this is Mother's Day weekend, so I'm a little more emotional than I usually am. But I'm coming from a place of grief, which I think really gives us strength. And I am so thankful that Beck brought us together, because really it's through connection and the arts that we realize how beautiful life is. And when my Katie started struggling with chronic pain and severe depression, it was music that Katie went to. When they couldn't do the rock climbing and all the crazy skiing and all the fun stuff, they learned how to sing, even though they never had wanted to before. And Beck, I'm just so amazed that you picked this up as a grown adult. Like, this is like so beautiful. And after Katie died, in the depths of grief, I thought, well, I want to try to make a difference and not have other moms go through this. And so I joined the board at NAMI, and they do amazing things. And even though my husband and I are both doctors, I didn't realize that they had classes that could have helped us. Like, literally, when Katie was struggling with mental health, they have a class called Family to Family, and it's free. Everything at NAMI is free. And this class teaches parents and friends and loved ones to understand a little bit of what they're going through and better ways to say things to show that you really care. Because sometimes when we say things, we really have great intentions and it doesn't come off the way we mean. And if any of you love someone who struggles with any sort of mental health challenge, I encourage you to go on the NAMI website and to sign up for a class. And I teach Family to Family now. And honestly, it is so powerful. And the tools that people walk away with are life-changing. In fact, the person who brought me on the board at NAMI, her child, who is now a mother, married, and a professional, they almost lost her in high school from bipolar disorder. And that class was life-changing for their daughter and for their whole family to keep them together. So if you have it in your heart to donate to NAMI tonight, it is money well spent, because honestly, we don't do a good job as a society funding mental health. And I just feel so honored to be in a room with so many amazing psychologists and psychiatrists all in one space. Where are you people? People have a hard time finding you, for sure. And yet here we are. But seriously, NAMI, besides Family to Family, they also have support groups. So whether you live with a mental health challenge or you're a family member who loves someone with a mental health challenge, the support groups are free. They bring people together. And the annual fundraiser that NAMI has is coming up on June 20th at 10 a.m. at Riverfront Park. And honestly, we are the prime sponsor of the Katie Through Unconditional Love Fund. We took all of Katie's life insurance and we started a fund to help support things that help save lives. So if you want to walk on June 20th with our team, let me know, because I'll hit you up with a free shirt that says Katie Through Unconditional Love Fund. And open up your checks or go on the QR code for the NAMI donation site, because it really is money well spent. So thank you.
And I didn't even mention, so Pam is an ER physician, but after what happened, she went to law school and is now an attorney, and she's running for state rep for District 5.
Three.
Obviously, I'm the artist, she's the politician. District 3.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you can learn more about her on the website. But
Thank
anybody who is willing to actually invest their livelihood, invest who they are, invest their family, to try to make a positive difference in this world, I couldn't do it, but you are doing
are
it.
doing it.
Well, I'm doing it through art. I couldn't do it through
Politics.
stuff through politics. Yeah. So I wanted to say that.
Thank you.
So next up, we'll have Harry back up. We never really got to introduce Harry because he kicked everything off. Harry Neff was a therapist. He's a life coach. He's a master of many trades, and he also has done Pivot, the premier storytelling event here in Spokane, twice. And we are blessed to have him come share a story about being human with us.
Thanks, everybody. We make a lot of mistakes in life, right? This is part of being human is we, make mistakes constantly in the way we're seeing the world, the way we're seeing ourselves, mistaken perceptions. And I've been struggling a lot this last year or so with wondering about a big life decision that I've made and wondering if it's a mistake. Near-death experiencer Jonathan Ashford is someone that I've been really blessed to hear about his experience on the other side, and he would talk about that there actually are no mistakes, that everything we go through actually is serving a purpose of moving us towards greater awakening. Well, I actually was a mistake. Like you were a mistake. My mom had 7 kids in 9 years, and she was 30 years old. Her husband was suffering with bipolar, very limited treatment options at that time. Electric shock therapy was about it. And she was like, okay, I think I better stop. No more kids. Well, they were driving along in 1970 in their brand new Volkswagen van on the San Jose freeway when a car was broken down in the middle of the freeway, and the lights were out, and lights weren't as good back then, and so they couldn't stop in time. They ran into the car. My sister went flying through the windshield. My other sister, who was 5 years old, ended up in a body cast for a year. And my mom's in the hospital, her leg up in pins, shattered, broken bones, and kids all around her. Her husband is a bit broken. And the doctor comes in and says, by the way, did you know that you're pregnant? I was an accident in an accident. So, my dad's mental illness, my mom divorced him when I was 6 months old. I really didn't know him well. We'd get calls every now and then, and it was sort of like a crazy uncle who you'd talk to a little bit. But nonetheless, it was still a wave, a tsunami that hit when I was 10 years old. And we got the call that my dad had killed himself jumping off of a building in Phoenix. And this hit me so hard. And it brought me into a lot of my own thoughts about suicide as I was growing up and going through difficulties. If your dad kills himself, what does that say about you? And so on my healing journey, in this experience of my relationship with my dad, I was 45 years old, and I was going to a wedding in Tucson, and I decided I wanted to visit the place that my dad died. So after the wedding, I got dropped off by my wife and friends and said goodbye to them, and picked up my bag and looked up at the building and thought, oh gosh, what am I going to do? I didn't really have a plan. I just was going to come and spend the night at this hotel. And so I thought, well, I'll walk around the building. That feels like a way to honor this site. I'm going to walk around the building. And so I pick up my backpack and I'm walking around the building, and I'm thinking to myself, gosh, I wonder if a lot of people kill themselves jumping off of this building, as I'm sort of feeling this heaviness of being where my dad's mental illness was finally cemented. And so, as I walk down the street and having these kind of questions, I see one of these people who have the vests on, it says, "Have a question, ask me." But I didn't have Google to research my question, and so, he says, I should ask him. So I ask him, and I go up to him and I say, I have a question. I'm curious, do you know much about like how many people kill themselves jumping off of this building? Yeah, you can imagine the look on his face. He's like, no, I don't. And he, kind of just stumbles off looking for a more innocuous question, like where can I get a good margarita, which was sounding very enticing at that point. So I go and I sit down on a bench and I'm looking up at the building, and I wonder what happened that day. I wonder what went on. And I'm sitting there continuing to contemplate, and I see another guy with the vest. Got a question? Ask me. I think maybe I'll try it again, a little more specific. And I go up to the guy and I say, I have a question for you. Do you know anything about the suicide that happened on Valentine's Day in 1980? His eyes get big and his jaw drops. And he says, I was there. We both just taking in this moment, tearing up. And he says that he worked about a half a block down the street from where my dad's body fell. And he shares that he was really proud of the city that day, that the people that were around really treated this death with such respect and honor. And we just sit in this profound experience of this chance meeting, and exchange numbers, and I continue on my walk. I finish my walk around the building and I go inside the hotel and I check in. And when I'm checking in, I ask, is there anybody who was working in the building in 1980? I have some questions about the history of the building, and they say, they conferred amongst each other, and said, yeah, I think Jerry up in the restaurant, I think she was working there then. And so, okay, I checked into my room and I go up to the restaurant, and the sun's setting over Phoenix. It's February, and the waiter comes by, and I ask him, is Jerry working tonight? And he says, yeah, he is. I'd love to talk to her for a minute about some history about the building. So Jerry comes over a little while later, and I ask her if she was working here in 1980, and she says she was, and I invite her to sit down and that I wanted to ask her some questions, and she's kind of cautiously accepts the invitation and sits down across from me. And I say, I'm curious, do you know anything about the suicide that happened on Valentine's Day in 1980? It was my dad, you see, and I'm just curious to know any information you might have. Her eyes get big, her jaw drops, and she says, I knew your dad. I knew him as Pastor Bob. I couldn't believe that he jumped off of the building, and he would come in every now and then to the building. He would bring jewelry to the waitresses, and he would talk about God's love. I was an alcoholic at the time, she said, and his words spoke to me, and it was sometime later that I finally found God and got sober, and that she expressed this deep appreciation for who my dad was. Again, both of us kind of in awe at this opportunity to meet, and for her to meet me, and for me to hear the story about my dad, who was clearly a bright light. He would he'd gotten kicked out of the building, and because of his manic episodes, and that was a part of a part of what happened there. From there, I finished dinner and I went out on the street. I spent some time with a couple of people in particular on the street, a schizophrenic man, a man who suffered with schizophrenia, and just kind of hung out with him as he sort of rambled in his, ungrounded awakening and making sort of sense and not really sense. And feeling connected to my dad in this, knowing that he was on the streets in those psychotic episodes, as we call them. And then I spent time with another guy who suffered with bipolar, and I bought him dinner, and he talked about his past and was in a very manic sort of phase. This was such a time of getting coherence in something that had felt so incoherent, and a sense of there being something bigger about all of this. It was about 2 years ago that my dad's cousin Peter called me. He had wanted to connect with me and share a little bit about my dad, and we'd finally made the connection. And in talking to him, he talked about a couple things. One was a story about being at the boardwalk with my dad, and they would go and ride the roller coasters. And he talked about how my dad, when the roller coaster would drop in, he would just be like, "Oh shit!" And he thought my dad was just the greatest, and he loved my dad. And then he shared about this reporter that had done a couple articles on my dad because he was an interesting character, and this reporter had taken an interest in him and had done a few articles. And when my dad died, he was very curious about him and his life and what had happened and whatnot. So he actually drove from Phoenix to Reno to interview my dad's cousin Peter. And Peter told me about this conversation he had where it turned out that my dad, he was being chased by the police in one of his manic episodes because he wasn't supposed to be in the building anymore. And he's running, and he gets up on a roof, and the police are chasing him, and he must have thought he was gonna finally get his wings. And as he leapt over the edge of the building, he yells, "Oh shit!" My dad didn't kill himself. Thank you.
Thank you, Harry, for sharing that. This can be heavy because this humaning is heavy sometimes. And because this is going to be recorded, and I'm going to, at the end, talk about how I want you to share this recording with 5-10 people you know, and tell them to share it with 5-10 people they know. I do want to say, because I don't know who will listen to this, that there is help. Please, if you're having thoughts of ending your life, talk to a friend, talk to a family member, just say something. If there's nobody you can talk to, call 988. It's the suicide hotline. Go to the emergency department. There is help. I'm always encouraged by the poem by Rilke, "Let everything happen to you, beauty and terror. Just keep going. No feeling is final." So I did, just as a mental health professional, want to mention that. The next person we're going to have up, again in this sort of synchronous constellation of organic friendships that have happened over the last couple of years. I went to TEDx this year, and I was so moved by Dr. Gati Nicario, who was talking about his journey of becoming an artist. So he grew up in the Philippines, and was very good at being good. And he went on to get his PhD so he could work hard and have a good job because that's what he was told to do. And he was in charge of a large university and was very successful there. And then at age 45, he decides to move to the United States. And as life would have it, he got to finally start fulfilling his lifelong dream of becoming an artist. That's what he had always wanted to do. And so he, on the TEDx stage, tells this beautiful story about that. And since then, I've gotten to see him dance at the Hamilton Listening Studio for 12-minute max. I got to see him play the donkey in Shrek. He was awesome. And he's been recognized by Spokane Arts as an up-and-coming artist. He's got murals around town, and he's going to come talk with us about a painting that he did on this theme of being human. And if anybody is moved by this painting or resonates with it, please find him afterwards, support him, purchase it. That would mean a lot. Please, Gati.
Thank you. I really don't know what to say tonight, but I need your support, guys. I've been so emotional from the whole experience. I think since I left my job at VOA, since December, I've been struggling, but I'm just so glad that I have Dax, my fiance, with me in my life. That's been my rock. So when Beck reached out to me for this gathering and said, you might want to create a painting, I couldn't think of anything. But I did this painting when I was doing TEDx. So this was inspired by my TEDx message. It wasn't about me being an artist, but it was about inspiring people to be courageous, to go out and create the box you want for your life. And when I entered that stage, I thought, this is not about me. I asked the universe and the spirit to enlighten my mind to be a good speaker, but then I realized, no, enlighten my mind and so that I can inspire the world because it will go out in the internet. So that was my prayer. It suddenly shifted. And I encourage everyone in this room to find a time to help me share that message in my TEDx talk, showing courage. And so when Beck and I had coffee and she shared about this message, I said, I can't think of any inspiration. As this event comes closer, she sent me the songs, but I was so immersed with all the arts. I mean, Spokane's been offering me with all the things in the field of the arts. And so I titled this On the Verge. So the I with a spark is telling me that I'm on the verge for greatness. I left my work as a director of Hope House Shelter at VOA with a very good paying salary, but I said, I'm going to leave this because I want to chase my dream as an artist. And I'm so confident of my skill set, I will land a job. Trust me, 2 weeks, a month, it's been 5 months, I did not get any job. But the arts are offering me a lot of opportunities. I won the Spokane Pride T-shirt award. I got accepted as one of the artists for Monroe Street banner. I got casted as Donkey in Shrek the Musical. A lot of people want that role. I got accepted for 12 Minutes Max. The art's just been so overwhelming that I've been getting a lot of praises. Like, you are so good, you are so great, considering the fact that I created my own Filipino dance troupe here. In fact, before I came here, I was performing at the ANHPI event at the Riverfront Park with my dance group. So it's been 5 months that I always get all the accolades of being an artist, but every time I open my computer he would always say, "You are not accepted for the job. We moved on to another candidate." So you know that feeling of being celebrated and yet you are rejected? So it's been a journey of 5 months of understanding my capability and understanding, am I really great? Because emotions are depleting, finances are depleting, and I'm in panic mode. So when Beck said, bring an art, this art was kind of calling me, bring me there. But you are not about it. So no, just bring me there. I had a conversation with this art, just bring me there, because every time I get rejection from the applications I submitted, I would always look at this art and the art would always say, you're on the verge of greatness, trust me. And every time I share to my friends that, hey, I just got rejected from Spokane Community College 4 times. And they would say, oh, you're on the verge of greatness, I think. And then I look at this painting, am I really on the verge of greatness? But when Beck said, just talk about being human in your art, and I was like, yeah, and it's okay to be vulnerable, right? So, yeah, this is on the verge. So, after tonight, I don't know. I think I'm on the verge of greatness. I think I still need to believe in that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Y'all are gonna make me cry. There is something I want to do at the very end, but I do just want to mention, originally the thought was, take a local nonprofit and highlight them and have people go to the website, just donate directly. But there are several artists here tonight that I want to support, and I want this model of home concerts to create viable opportunities for artists. I think there is sometimes an expectation that art is like, it's like frosting, that you don't really need to pay for it. Like it's a joy for an artist to perform. But so our artists put in thousands of hours of heart and soul for the call of being an artist. And I want more artists in Spokane to be able to be supported in intimate living rooms with intentional listening experiences. And so if you did bring cash, there's a little ceramic bin to distribute to some of the artists tonight. And then, the QR code is there for NAMI, as well as the web address. So make sure you have that. So Josh is in the corner. That sounds like you're in trouble. So another fun call out to synchronicity. I have a GI Bill which would pay for me to do 2 more years of school, and I already have like 14 years of school under my belt, but I just can't pass up a bargain. And so I'm looking at doing the audio engineering program at the Falls, and the director of the program heard about Flamelight and this idea, and he said, you got to talk to Josh. Josh is a veteran who did the program a few years ago and has a heart for helping veterans through music, and we've had a really fun time connecting. I think it's just sort of the beginning, and I'm really glad to have him here too. And he's also situated by a bunch of candles, a flight of candles. And if you could start distributing them, I made one hopefully for everybody. I haven't done the math, but hopefully everybody will get a candle. And this is the idea that we all have light. Even the people that I don't think have much light, I'm convinced by people much wiser than me that they do have light. It's just a matter of if they can see it. And I love making candles. And so I made these over the last couple days. They're made out of yogurt jars. So if you guys like Wii Yogurt by Yoplait, give me the jars and I will turn them into candles. Thank you to those who brought me the Wii candles. And I want to try something. This may or may not work, but I want to pass these lighters around, and I want you guys to light the candles. Don't do it church style because they will drip. So I'm just gonna pass these around. We've been able to witness a beautiful Saturday evening with the sun out, all the blossoms in bloom. And as I suspected, around the time of the end of the show, it would be dark. And this idea of being a light in the darkness. And I love seeing the illumination of a candle. And I want to teach you guys a song. You guys have already shown me you guys can sing, so you're not off the hook. Where's that tribal drum? Where's Kuan Yin's tribal drum? Oh, perfect. Asha, let's hear her. Oh, will you drum?
Sure. And there's a rattle too, whoever wants to rattle with me.
So, Kirsten helped me sing this song when I spoke at the women's conference where I got to see Pam. And Kirsten helped me sing. This is the first time I've ever sung in front of people. And she gave me the courage to do it. So this song, again, it just sort of came to me from the North Dakota landscape. Truth be told, I actually wanted to call it Dakota. I feel like that's the name of what the song should be called. But I put on the program Not Alone. And as mentioned, we were living in North Dakota when it was COVID, and it was a rough time. And more than that, it was a really rough time for my patients. And so every day I learned just horror after horror of tales of loneliness and despair. And I was starting to feel it. And it was winter, and the view from our living room just kind of looked out on this white expanse. And the piano was kind of near the window, and this song came to me. And it feels like a song that's always been, like a song that has just kind of gone through lineages. And it's pretty simple. We're going to sing it a few times. The verse, well, there really is no verse and chorus, it's just all one song. But the main part is, I will sing in the morning when my heart is heaviest. I will sing in the morning when my heart is heaviest. I will sing in the morning when my heart is heaviest, for I know I'm not alone. And we're going to do that probably 3 times. And then we're going to close it out with, I will sing in the evening when my heart is full of rest. I will sing in the evening when my heart is full of rest. I will sing in the evening when my heart is full of rest, for I know I'm not alone. And we'll do that probably twice. And Kuan Yin is lending her tribal drum, and it just kind of brings us probably to our roots. We are tribal creatures. We all want to belong. We all want to create. We all want to sing together. I think there's a lot of neuroscience on this, but you got to experience it to know it's true. So I'll sing it through the first time, and then please, the more voices, the more better. I will sing in the morning when my heart is heaviest. I will sing in the morning when my heart is heaviest. I will sing in the morning
heart is heaviest, I will sing in the morning. When my heart is heaviest, I will sing in the morning. When my heart is heaviest, for I know I'm not alone. I will sing in the morning. When my heart is heaviest, I will sing in the morning. When my heart is heaviest, I will sing in the morning. When my heart is heaviest, for I know I'm not alone. I will sing in the evening. When my heart is full of rest, I will sing in the evening. When my heart is full of rest, I will sing in the evening. When my heart is full of rest, for I know I'm not alone. I will sing in the evening. When my heart is heaviest, I will sing in the evening. When my heart is full of rest, I will sing in the evening. When my heart is full of rest, for I know I'm not alone.
This has been such a beautiful evening. A couple weeks ago, I was really thinking about conversations with mentors, conversations with patients, and I felt moved to write a small article in the Spokesman. It says, AI can do a lot, but what it can't do may matter more. It can't do this. It can't do this. That idea of what it means to be human, I just want us all to celebrate it, all of it, celebrate each other, and thank you so much for bringing your presence, bringing who you are. Everybody was invited here for a reason. You all are light. Go share it. Thank you.
Yeah.